proud of our team for finding a way to win the game. Really hard-fought game. Film showed that as far as just the effort from our guys. Didn't always do everything like us to see us, but their effort, their will to win, those are great things that you can continue to build on. But again, proud of our defense. No touchdowns. Of the 3 games, it's probably our worst game defensively of the 3. Had more missed tackles in that game. Did not contain the ball very well. Quarterback scramble kind of kept them alive. We had some critical penalties that extended drives. Had a couple different times to win the game, and they got outside us. But man, their effort ultimately comes down to that 1st and 3 on the goal line, and man, what an incredible goal line stand, and a great play to finish it off with Skowski. They had no big play runs. Red zone defense continues to be really good. They did have some, too many. I think they had 5 big play passes, but it's probably again the most missed tackles, most mental errors that we've had defensively. But a lot of good things. Again, their effort was great. Our 3rd down, 3 of 15 on 3rd down. We had 12 quarterback pressures and 4 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. So there was a lot of good things, but to win a game like that and be able to get these guys in here and continue to teach and grow, man, it's a blessing because we certainly could have lost that game, made plenty of mistakes offensively. We just continue to put the ball on the ground, critical penalties. And we made the adjustments to find a way to win the game. As I said yesterday, we were great on 3rd down, 9 of 15 on 3rd down, and to only have eight possessions is unusual for us. Really a weird day. 6 of those 8 possessions, we were 8+ drives, and 3 of them were 12+ play drives, but we just didn't finish them. And it was just one thing after another. But again, we found a way to win. We did what we needed to do. We had no sacks, which was a positive, and really didn't have any negative plays outside of 2 plays we tried to bounce outside. The quarterback run, really was a good spark for us. I thought Justin Ross had a heck of a game. Will Shipley was tremendous. But just, again, some missed assignments, missed plays, fundamental stuff, penalties, terrible ball security, kind of some of the things that have hurt us in a couple games this year already. The difference in this game this week is we were able to still find a way to win it. But very, very fortunate. And we're going to have to play a lot better starting this week. And no doubt about that, to have a chance to win up in Raleigh against a good team. Special teams, we continue to do some good things. They made a great kick on the hands team, and Joe just kind of missed. He was trying to bat the ball out of bounds, but continue to do some good things. Been overall pleased with that area and solid. But back to work for us. Again, proud of the team's effort, their will to win, and how hard they played. And then defensively, just a tremendous effort, to finish the game the way they finished. So excited about another opportunity this week, going on the road and seeing if we can get this team better.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Do you expect Balin to be practicing tomorrow, or will he still be nursing that knee?
Yeah, we'll talk. I don't know. We'll talk about it with Danny Poole in the morning in our staff meeting, and we'll find out where he is. We thought he was going to play Saturday, and it just was irritated, and so hopefully it'll settle down. He'll be good to go. But
other than that, did you come out of the game okay?
Pretty much. I mean, it was a really physical game. We got some guys kind of, banged up, and we had a lot of guys, some guys that played a lot of snaps. So, we'll see where they are. Got a lot of guys, I'm sure, today beat up and sore, so we'll see where we are tomorrow.
That was Larry Williams, Tiger Illustrated. Speaking of guys who are banged up, Brzee, how much pain, I guess, is he fighting through, I guess, routinely, I guess, with that shoulder that I'm assuming he initially banged up against Georgia?
Yeah, I don't think they've got him in a brace, which kind of keeps him from getting to the pain area like he, keeps it there. If it gets back a certain way, that's where he really feels the pain. So they've got him kind of braced down pretty good to where hopefully his arm can't get in that position. But he's amazing. That's kind of been the injury of the year, I guess. We've had a bunch of shoulder type things over the past year, and but he's battling through it and doing great. Just playing fast and physical and disruptive. He's a special player.
Coach, it's Trevor again. I didn't do a head count, but it looked like maybe 25,000 fans came back after the 2-hour delay. Definitely not the advantage of 80,000, especially on that 3rd and 2, but seemed like they did their best to really bring some energy.
Oh, yeah. Our fans are great. It's an unbelievable atmosphere that we've had. We've won a lot of games there, and man, our fans are a big part of that for sure, no doubt. And I thought they gave us all they had down the stretch there, just like our guys did on the field.
Dabo, this is Dabo. What area, I guess, would you like to see the offensive line maybe develop for games?
Well, we got to cut out the critical. We got to cut out the critical penalties first. We had a couple of just jumping off sides. We didn't snap the ball one time, and first play of the game we jumped offside. So some bad penalties, and then as I've said many times, just some fundamental things where we're not turning guys loose, and we're getting to the second level, picking up the twists, so just some basic stuff that we got to get better. Just too many fundamental issues, too many mistakes, and we 2 games in a row, no sacks, so that's a positive for sure. And there's definitely some good in there. There's a lot of good in there, but the offensive line, that's got to be the most cohesive group on the team. Truly, and so just continuing to play with the kind of cohesion that we need, and bringing these young guys along that we've got in there that are going to be good players, but they're we're having to get better in a hurry. So, but the first thing we got to do is we've got to cut out some of the mistakes, just some of the penalties, and again MAs and some of the very correctable fundamental things that you're not seeing in practice. That's the frustrating thing, is we're doing some things in the game, at least this game for sure, where you're not seeing it in practice, and so just transitioning it to the game day. And Saturday was a weird day because again, you spent we prepared 0 for what they did defensively, and that I think created a little bit of angst for a young guy like Marcus Tate. That's all of a sudden it's not what he's practiced for, and it took a little while to kind of settle in. But biggest thing is, again, we're doing a lot of good things in practice, taking that to the game field.
Dabo, this is Matt with Clemson Sports. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you still going? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, sticking with the offensive line, I know there was a lot of talk in the preseason about depth and feeling good about several guys there. Is there any thought of giving anyone else a shot, or are y'all so banged up and lost so many guys that those were some of the guys you were talking about?
Well, we've lost 3 big-time depth guys for us. That's Taquan Johnson would have definitely helped us. Dietrich Pennington, man, he's going to be a great player. He was going to help us this year for sure. Big John Williams was going to help us. So, that our depth is taking a little bit of hit, but yeah, we've got to play. We've got to play more guys. I think that's another thing too. That that's we got into that last year, but because I think Trotter obviously broke his hand, and so we just got him back, but he can only play right guard. That's the only spot he can play right now. So being able to get him in there some, we need to get Rayburn going, and give him some more opportunity and let him see what they can do in some game situation stuff. So wanted to get some more guys in there, but it just not many plays, and just didn't get the opportunity. So that's on us as coaches.
When you're dealing with, I guess, kind of an extraordinary number of level, I guess, of sort of developmental guys in sort of developmental stages on the offensive side, as we were talking about last night, how do you strike the balance between scrutiny and sort of keeping their spirits up when you're dealing with a lot of young players who are going to do it for the first time?
Yeah, well, there's a fine line there because, again, this is a developmental game, and we have good players, and we're seeing a lot of great things. I mean, last week was a great week of practice, and seeing so many good things. But then all of a sudden, again, you get in the game, and you got a bunch of young guys, and it's very different. And we've got to not let one mistake lead to two more. And so I think there's a fine line of again, what's real, what's not real, and just really keeping them focused on what we have to do to get better, and obviously correct the mistakes, but also you don't want to kill their spirit. I mean, this is our team, these are our young guys, and I go back to Chandler Catanzaro. His freshman year as a kicker, he was 57%, but he left here as the leading scorer in the history of the school, and made some huge kicks along the way. So there is a fine line because they are young players. They're not video game people. They're human beings, and the good thing is they really, really care, and they're passionate about it, and they're very coachable. So yeah, you got to correct, you got to challenge, but we've got to help them, and you certainly don't want to kill their spirit or anything like that, because this is the best we got, and it's kind of where we are right now. And again, we're growing each and every week, and if we can cut out some of these critical mistakes that we're having. I mean, I really felt like the other night we should have had at least 10 points on the board, and all of a sudden now it's 24-3, and it's a different feel. But just really critical errors that are costing us in critical situations. So. Again, challenge, but we got to do it in a very positive and constructive way, because these kids are giving us great effort. I mean, great effort, and they want to, and they care. But we got some guys that are just growing into their roles and learning a lot of football on the run. Because again, at the end of the day, the games, it's you work all year for just these few opportunities, and we've got to get it to transition from practice to the game day. And we will.
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood. After watching the film, how would you assess the way that DJ played, and then what do you need to see out of him in this next week for him to take yet another step in his progress?
Well, I mean, he continued to get better. Again, he had one ball on the ground, well, two balls on the ground. We had one that we were very lucky we didn't handle the snap, and then the other one, again, fundamentally, putting the ball in the wrong arm going to his left, and it caught up with him. But he was 18 of 25, so that was probably his best day from a percentage standpoint, which is good. He missed 3 throws that I can remember. Or that would have been a great day for him. But I was really proud of his toughness. I was proud of his heart, his will to win. And, what we had to do to win that game in that moment, man, he made some incredible plays, some great runs that really sparked our team. And I thought he showed great heart and great leadership. So, just continuing to get him in the rhythm. And again, it's everybody around DJ too. But just continuing to show up every day, continue to prepare like he has been. And it's just a matter of time before he puts it all together with the rest of the guys and has the type of game that we know we're capable of having.
Coach, the drop snap looked very similar to the one that he had against Georgia. Was that just him taking his eye off the ball?
Yep.
Okay.
You mentioned the spark that he gave you with his legs. Was there a feeling in watching the film that you might have found something there in terms of how his running can really sort of help his overall game and give you guys a spark?
Yeah, we've always known he could really run the ball, and that was one of our regrets coming from the Georgia game is that we did not run him more. Obviously last week there wasn't much there from that standpoint as far as running DJ, but this week we knew he would run some, but we didn't know again that the presentation of their defense was totally different, and that was a frustrating thing because we ran the ball well. Shipley had a nice day, and DJ had a nice day, but I do think that he got him going a little bit, and hopefully there'll be more of that down the road.
Coach, I know you're just getting into the weeds on NC State, but they look to be much improved since 2 years ago when they were decimated with injuries. Does it feel a little bit weird not having played them in 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, last year was a weird year for everybody, but they're excellent team. They're one of the more veteran teams. I think they had all 11 back, or 10 of the 11 back on defense, and they obviously lost two a linebacker and a safety, so they still got 8 of 11 back. Very veteran group. Same thing on the offensive side. Got quarterbacks, a good player, good backs, good receivers. Their offensive line is a good group. So some experienced guys on both sides of the ball, and we all know that's a tough place to play. So we'll have to play our best game. I mean, and we're a long way away from playing our best game to this point. But hopefully this will be the week that we put it all together.
Hey, Coach, Lawton Swan with Clemson Sports Talk. As coaches, when a team comes out and shows you something that maybe you've only seen on film once or twice, I mean, how difficult is it in game to make those adjustments? I mean, you mentioned Marcus Tate, but, as coaches trying to work as a staff through what you're seeing, how difficult is that? What's that process like?
Well, it depends on what's the makeup of your team. If you got a veteran team, it's not as difficult. If you got a bunch of young guys, then it's more of a challenge. What they played us in, we only saw it one time. That was against Central Florida, a little bit against Central Florida last year. But we hadn't seen it since. So, it was not a snap, this year as far as how they played us. So, we knew we had to run the football. And so making the adjustments and the guys up front and how we're going to have to target things. And again, you spend all week. It's not something that you practice against. And you've got some guys that haven't played a lot. So it's different for everybody. It's different for the backs, different for, the OL, different for the quarterback, different all around, different structure for the receivers. So, again, I was proud of the staff and the guys for kind of hanging in there and making the adjustments that we need. We just didn't finish some of the drives. Again, 9 of 15 on third down. We were efficient. We just we messed it up. Again, critical penalties and missed opportunities and putting the ball on the ground. Almost cost us big time.
Anything else for Coach Sweeney?
Hey, Coach, it's David again. one of the questions that kept popping up, I think, during the game and the past couple of weeks has been, the absence of the deep throw, deep middle, things like that. Do you feel like, obviously Georgia Tech tried to take that away, but do you feel like that is still, another part of the game with young receivers, young quarterback that's a work in progress, and how do you kind of get that back to the level that everybody's used to?
Well, you got to get in rhythm, and you got to have the structure. Again, you're not going to throw deep balls on, drop 8. You're not going to throw the ball in the middle of the field with a robber coverage. They got guys sitting there. They got corners clouded, they got overhangs, and they got 3 guys deep. You have to run the football, and you have to, play action on and try to manipulate the backers a little bit. And you got to control them with some of the RPO stuff in the run game, and that's what we did, and that's why we won the game. We made the adjustments there again, but I think their philosophy was they were not going to give us the big play. They just weren't going to do it. There was very few opportunities within the game where we had a chance to hit a big play. We had to manufacture a couple of things that we were able to do that helped us. But they were keeping everything in front, and again, giving up the run and forcing us to have to be patient and methodical and snap the ball again, not turn it over. We'll you can best believe we'll work on that because we'll see it again for sure. But we'll be a little better prepared.
Dabo, Larry again. Between the third and fourth quarters, DJ had a couple of those runs, and he was pretty fiery. And you were in his face in between the quarters, and it looked like you might have been saying, "Hey, that's what I want to see." Was I reading that right, or was that something totally different?
No, I was just talking about how proud of him. I mean, I just thought he was doing a great job. I mean, he was fighting for every inch. I mean, he had huge conversions. I mean, it was the one 3rd and long that he went and got. I mean, he was
3rd and 14.
He was playing with a great passion, and that's what you want to see. So I thought he was really trying to lead the team and just a lot of heart. I mean, those guys, again, at some point, you can be frustrated. You can go do something about it. And, that was how we were going to have to go win the game. And I was just really proud of it. That's really it. Just excited for, how he was competing.
Coach, speaking of that,
first time he's had a game like that, and there's lots of different ways to win, but it's the first time he's been in a situation like that where he's had to kind of take it over, and I thought he really responded.
Coach, speaking of that 3rd and 14 run by DJ, that seemed like a pretty gutsy play call by Tony. You think you caught him off guard there with that?
Yeah, and we knew they were going to be playing. They were dropping everybody again. There was not going to be anywhere to throw the football, and so we knew they were going to be soft versus the run, and had an extra hat there. I didn't know if we'd get the first down, but we needed to make sure that we got something and gave us a better chance at a field goal in that situation. So it was a definite great call there, and unbelievable effort by DJ to go get it.
Anything else for Coach Sweeney?